First, would like to start off and just thank our crowd. I think it's quite amazing what we're fortunate enough to be able to play in front of. For them to come out here, even on Friday for a 2:30 game, and then to come out to today again. I thought the crowd was fantastic. It's a tribute to them. You know, everybody's got options. Everybody's got choices to make. And these fans choose to come out here and cheer us on and have the opportunity to see a great basketball game. So I'd like to say thank you to them, and I truly mean that. It's from my heart. You know, I take great pride in doing whatever I can to get people to come and watch these young women play. And you know, even for DePaul, I think it's got to be an exciting opportunity to be able to come and see that there's this many passionate people about women's basketball. You know, because we do go on the road and we play in front of 1,000. We play in front of 500 at different places. And I truly say that, you know, I do anything and everything I can to get people to come, and it's because I want them to be able to see what spectacular athletes and people and young women that not just us, but DePaul and everybody that we play that comes in here has. Because I think so many people miss out on seeing what unbelievable athletes these young women are. So I want to say thank you to our crowd. Thank you for the fans from DePaul that came down. I thought it was just a fantastic environment. Would also, again, you know, have to congratulate Doug and his staff and his kids. You know, it was a great ball game. You know, it was a basketball game. It was a game of runs. It was a game where they came up with some big rebounds. They came up with some big stops. They did what you had to do. And unfortunately for us, we weren't able to get over that hump. We had two opportunities there in the last minute of the game to take the lead and couldn't get it done. And credit to them that they sat there and were able to do it. So you've got to tip your hat to DePaul and Doug, and you know, and I wish that basketball team the best of luck in Dallas next weekend.
Thank you, Coach Walz. Questions for the student athletes now? Anybody raise your hands, we'll get a microphone to you. How are we up here? Please identify yourself and direct your question to a specific student athlete.
Howie Lindsay, CardinalSports.com for Myisha. Your view on that final play, what were you hoping to accomplish there?
To get to the basket, we've ran that play before, and it was just, I couldn't finish the shot. So.
Jonathan Littner of the Courier-Journal. Briahanna, it's a big second half for you, for it to come down to that foul at the end. Did you think that you fouled her, first of all, and then, you know, what do you feel like kind of keyed you today?
There was some contact on the play, but I feel like I made a play for the ball, and so did she. I don't know, I didn't even know I had 4 fouls.
Zach Holden, the DePaulia, for any of you, what was it about January today that was just so difficult to stop?
Myisha, you want to start with that?
Oh, well, I wasn't really guarding her, so.
I think it was more of playing her off screens. Like we had to switch higher, and we didn't. And she has a really nice pull jumper, so it was on us to get up on the screens and fight over.
Thank you, Mariya.
For Myisha, tough call there at the end. The amount of contact that was there. Did you think it was a charge? What was your perspective?
No, not at all. I didn't. When I went up, I don't know. I didn't think it was a foul or a charge or whatever.
For Mariya, the last 10 minutes of that game, there was a lot of emotion there. What do you feel like ultimately kind of got you all back in it after you went down 10 points?
I think it was just relaxing and knowing that if we just get stops, we can get back in the game. So it's just focusing on each play and playing hard while you're in the moment, and don't look too forward. because we need some big stops.
Jody Dimling of Cardinal Authority, Mariya, and then for BJ, the same thing. What do you guys learn out of a game like this going into the offseason for next year?
That I don't know how many open shots they missed. So I know for me, I need to work on making those open shots and just finishing plays out and just knowing my surroundings, because I have to find people to box out.
For me, discipline and details. It came down to the little things in that game. You know, getting up when somebody's cutting, you know, making contact. We just need to regroup and focus on the little things and get in the gym this summer.
Thank you, Brianna.
Myisha, Coach talked a lot about defense coming into this game. Obviously, DePaul had a great first 3 quarters. What do you feel like changed, or when you were able to kind of buckle down and get some stops there at the end?
Yeah, like you said, we just had to buckle down. We knew that it was going to come down to stops on defense, and then our last 10 minutes of the quarter, we played great defense. We just couldn't capitalize.
Any further questions for the student athletes? Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Walz?
Jeff, just talk about the end there and what you saw. You had maybe the best view of it with Myisha. Is that, first of all, what you wanted on that, you know, down there?
Yeah, we were trying to tack off the dribble. I was hoping Asia was going to turn the corner and really trying to put some pressure on her. But we kind of dribbled, you know, as we like to say, like a windshield wiper around the 3-point line. And then it got kicked back up to Myisha. I thought she made a strong take. You know, it's a 50-50 call. It's one that I thought on her way up, they slapped at the ball, but whatever. I mean, I'm not worried about that. You know, there's plenty of calls that could have gone both ways, and I'm sure Doug was upset about a few too. So, you know, we just did not rebound the ball at critical times. They came up with some huge offensive rebounds. They ended up with 8. I think they had 2 on one possession. It's a tie game. They come up with 1 at the end there. I mean, just things that you have to, you have to have attention to detail. And unfortunately for us, we did not get it done.
Hi, Jim Neudorf from Scout. Coach, you told us yesterday that if you had to chase the ball, it would be probably a long day for you. Are you able to point to any specific reasons why you weren't able to catch them today?
No, I thought when I talk about chasing them, I meant where we were just flying around because they were driving by us. I thought we did actually a pretty decent job defensively today. You know, they actually made some tough shots. You know, you've got Grays banking in a 3. I mean, there's some things that you're just like, what the hell? You know, it's like you just got to throw your hands up. You know, I thought January played extremely well. I thought she was the difference in the ball game, especially in the first half. She's the one that really put some pressure on us, and she made tough shots. She made some really tough shots over top of people. You know, so it's not necessarily that we were chasing them, and then they made some big ones. Like we went for a steal late there in the game, and you know they dribble in and pull up and make about a 6-footer. You know, Millander did, which was a big shot. She goes 5 for 5. She comes off the bench and has 12 points. You know, and especially with the foul trouble that they were in and we were in, you know, it speaks volumes.
Bruce Snyder, CN2 Sports. Coach, I know everything is still very fresh. As you think back on the season, what are some of the things that you're going to think about?
Well, you know, losing sucks. And if you don't think that way, then you're in the wrong business. You know, like this, you know, when you finish the year with a loss, I mean, it sits with me all year. You know, I was really proud of our kids. I've got a wonderful group of young women that I think represent not only this basketball team, but our university and our city extremely well. I think there are young women that everybody can be very proud of. We started off 1-4, you know, We finished the month of November, and there were a lot of question marks. We get to 3-5, and then, you know, we finally realized our backs were against the wall, and I thought they came out and gave great effort in practice, figured it out, and then went on a remarkable run. But unfortunately, it's like I told them in the locker room there, you know, this loss has to hurt them as bad, if not worse, than it hurts me. Because come May, if this loss doesn't still sting and hurt, then you aren't going to become the player you need to be. Because this has to fuel your fire. This loss, this has to give you something and desire to want to become better. Just work on your ball handling, work on your shooting, work on following a scouting report. Don't go under when you're supposed to trail someone off a ball screen. Because when you do those things against a team like DePaul, they step up and make shots. And that's exactly what they did. Every time we had a breakdown, or we, as I like to say, we cheated the process, we got scored on.
Paige Gerard, SB Nation Swish Appeal. Can you kind of talk about the evolution of this team and like you said, starting the season 1-4, and then coming and having this great run through ACC play, and then kind of, I guess, ending the season in a heartbreaking fashion. But even, I guess, discuss a little bit about the freshmen as well.
No, I mean, it's you know, I'm proud of them. As I've said, I'm really proud of this group of young women. You know, I was really proud of Asia Durr. I thought she's really, she's played through a lot of pain. You know, she's healthy. Now it's a matter of continuing to play and get herself back to where she's going to be 100%. You know, and then our other freshmen have some work to do. It's a challenge. You know, you have to want to be great. And if you want to be great, you've got to put the work in. You just can't stamp your time card, and then just say, okay, I'm done, and go sit down. It doesn't work that way. You've got to put effort and time in the gym. And that's going to be my challenge to all of them. Because I know they all want to play more. But, you know, you've got to be able to step up and make plays. You've got to be able to step up and follow a scouting report. And those are things that we struggled with today. You know, they're all great kids. They're great kids. You know, I enjoy coaching them. I enjoy my kids being around them. It's nothing like that. I mean, I really, truly enjoy being around them. I love them. They're like my own kids. But that doesn't mean they don't have to get better basketball-wise. And those are the challenges that are going to be in front of a lot of them.
Josh Abner, Associated Press. You said yesterday their experience was a luxury. How much of that was a factor? They seemed to match you every time you were able to claw back.
Well, you know, I thought where their experience got us was at our defensive end, their offensive end. Right when we got it back to where we're clawing and we're scraping and we're getting it back to one, getting it back to two, we have a defensive breakdown because we're not mentally tough enough. We're not sitting there completely engaged in the process, as I always tell them. You can't cheat it. You cheat the process, you're going to get beat. It might work for you for a while, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. And that's really what took place tonight. Right when we had it close, we'd have a mental breakdown, which would lead to a basket and a score.
Any further questions for Coach Walz?
I appreciate everything, and again, I really want to congratulate Doug and his staff. They're great people. You know, I miss playing against them. Really enjoyed the years in the Big East with them, and want to wish them the best of luck this next weekend down in Dallas. Thank you, everybody.